I welcome our guests, the top leaders of the journalism in Egypt. But I want to tell you that the university, the BUE, is developing in the direction we agreed on and you wish to see it. Particularly researches, we're doing great on researches. Excellence in education, we are on the way. We're doing better, developing more. We're working on having a branch of our partner, London South Bank University. Among the achievements at the Science Park and Enterprise, and this is very important for the future of the BUE and the future of Egypt. There are new faculties will be opened, Faculty of Art and Design, Faculty of Tourism and Hotel Management. They are building 4 new buildings at the campus. I'm proud and glad with the results, achievements, applications of new students are triple and 4 and 6 times what we are allowed and able to take in the university. That shows that the reputation of the university is very good and high.
Just to inform you, top private Supreme Council accredited university, 3rd non-governmental university, 11th in all university in Egypt, 7th in papers per researcher, top citation per paper, top percentage papers in top 10% and 25% journals. For the graduate, student affairs, expected number of graduates this academic year, 1,752 compared with 1,331 in last year. For admission, early admission, we received 4,884 applications, either direct or online, and we start to evaluate them according to our criteria for the English language by the help of the British Council in Egypt.
The strategic plan of the university requires us in teaching and learning to develop each of its 6 intentions or components. The first is that we should contribute as a university to the development of Egypt. Secondly, that we should deliver a vibrant 21st century university campus. Third, that we should deliver a transformational British higher education experience. Then, that we should produce outstanding research with national and international impact, that we should achieve internationalization, and finally, sixthly, that we should have a robust enabling infrastructure to support institutional effectiveness. In teaching and learning, what we've done is to develop a strategic plan which seeks to take forward these elements in the area of teaching and learning. Now, the BUE London South Bank partnership is one of the largest, if not the largest, transnational collaborations delivering UK face-to-face higher education in the Middle East. So it is really something to be reckoned with. So the proposed alignment with an LSBU branch campus, which the chairman of the board referred to, and I think we will hear more about, will help consolidate BUE's position in this regard. And specifically, steps are being taken to ensure that the new campus would not compete with the BUE, but that it would complement it through the offer of appropriate undergraduate and postgraduate programs as well as in research and continuing professional development.
Over the 12 years of life, young life of BUE, we've moved quickly from undergraduate education to research, postgraduate education, enterprise, and technology transfer, having startups in place very quickly. That's unprecedented in Egypt. I think unprecedented for a young life like 12 years in the life of a university. Again, this is the strength of the university, a number of students, academic programs, including postgraduate programs in areas like renewable energy, web science, new areas, and we are increasing the number of students very quickly as well. Collaboration with the industry, of course, we have many. On the left here, these are individual enterprises we're working on several projects, and this is one of the biggest alliances in Egypt that are now in place, addressing many vital areas in Egypt. This is a new renewable energy alliance led by Egypt. The target and the mission of this is to have renewable energy made in Egypt, not imported by Egypt. If you focus on Egypt alone, among 50 universities, we moved up from number 13 to number 11. If you focus on private universities, BUE has been at the top of private universities registered at the Supreme Council of Universities in the past 3 years. 3 years in a row, BUE has been at the top. Now about the Science Park, it's very close to BUE, but we have two buildings, these two buildings for the Science and Innovation Park. And it has about 14,000 square meters floor area. And we are going to start this in 2 phases. This building is almost ready. We'll start in that, and this will follow in about 6 months.
So the final thing we talked about was how we could further integrate activity around modules. And some of that work started around Moodle, but that's the area where there's still an opportunity for much more joint collaboration if we're going to start looking further downstream at joint courses, joint activities. And that leads us into a potential threat, but actually also a potential opportunity. Because with all that I just described, I think we should be really proud of what's been achieved. And as I think Leslie said, my biggest frustration is that so few people actually know what we've achieved. And we do need, I think, to focus something around communications and stories to make people aware of what's going on. To date, we've been discussing between the teams what are the assumptions we would make about a branch campus. And we've only really identified at a high level 2 assumptions. First is around location. We would want it co-located with BUE, and that fits the chairman's vision of a UK education zone that we can jointly market and work on. The second is, it has to be a collaborative partnership that supports what we're doing with BUE, and that we would expect as part of that partnership, not just to look at courses, but how we could share services, and also how we develop jointly the infrastructure.
As you know, the President Sisi and the Minister of Education, Tarek Shawki, announced earlier this year a massive programme for educational transformation in Egypt's schools, funded by a £2 billion programme from the World Bank, and which has the collaboration of a significant number of British institutions, some departments of Cambridge University, Pearson's, and a company called Imagine Education, all working with the Ministry of Education on these questions. My question in the circumstance of a new campus from South Bank here, and the presentation about new faculties being opened, which was mentioned earlier on, is whether the BUE would consider seeking to work with the Egyptian government on developing this educational programme and developing an education aspect of what we do at the preschool level. It would be a very big commitment, and it may be that strategically you would decide not to do so because it's better to prioritise in other areas. I could understand that decision, since I'm certain that from the Egyptian government point of view, a good collaboration with a strong Egyptian university would strongly help their ability to deliver this £2 billion programme to transform Egypt's schools. And so I just wondered whether that could be a dimension of the development we're talking about, or whether, alternatively, the decision would be to let this one go past and focus on other things.
Yeah, I think we absolutely have to consider it, and in detail. Of course, we can't do everything, and it is a matter of where our focus is going to lie. With London South Bank, we have particular opportunities. We have opportunities with employability, which is absolutely vital and part of the national agenda in Egypt. So we would have to see where that sits in relation to that. I think, but obviously what you're saying is a thing that would be very important, and it just should be considered, yeah.
One of the things that impressed me in the times when we have had these meetings in Cairo, and we have seen the award of the degrees to young people, is the number of young women who are in the part of the university who are getting awards. I really think it would help us enormously when we're talking about things like the award of scholarships and the other achievements, if we were able to be very, very clear about the numbers of young women who are coming through our system, because it is, I think, to the enormous credit of BUE that there are so many young women amongst our numbers and amongst those who are getting their degrees. I think, so on both the points, the alumni point, but I do think we don't make enough of the point about young women, and the fact is that we do as good a job for the young women as we do for the young men, and we really should make sure people understand that better than they do.
If I may just gather together a few thoughts. Sir Richard Otway, yes, we would like your help with law. Also, Robin Lamb, we're very keen on you helping us with business and ensuring that employers have confidence in our graduates. Ambassador Moratinas and Ambassador Moran, yes, we want to work on Europe and the Mediterranean. These three things have a thread in common, which is we need to do far more in promotion of what we do, not simply in the sense of advertising and not simply in the sense of the web and so on, but in everything we do, and not merely in the rankings either, that everything we do has an external importance.
So it is a British university on Egyptian land. It's not an Egyptian university. It is a British university, and we insist on that, and we will continue supporting this. Thank you very much for attending this meeting.
All institutions moving forward are going to have an international focus. There's going to be a greater importance associated with graduates having access to international travel, exposure to different cultures and learning on different sites. So the concept of working in partnership across different countries becomes increasingly important. We've done a lot of work with BUE and we're already supporting a lot of those initiatives. But a branch campus gives us the opportunity of bringing directly to Egypt a base for UK education, but one that works in partnership with BUE to deliver what the Egyptian community needs. And what we can bring to bear is our own unique flavour and expertise around engagement with business. So it will be quite unique in Egypt because the courses and the opportunities will be shaped with business to make sure that the graduates are coming out with the skills that businesses need and the skills that the Egyptian community need for the future. And we'll do so in collaboration with our partner, BUE.
I think it's probably the best school opened in Egypt at this time because they know what they want to do, they know what the important areas are, and they are doing it. They're buying the equipment that needs, which are expensive. Nanotechnology, the equipment are very expensive. And they getting some of the people, they're having meetings in it. So I think they are moving this direction, and to open that direction in Egypt will be extremely important for its future. Because first of all, we will be with the rest of the world, because everybody is doing nanotechnology now. And the people are smart here, the Egyptians are very well known. They've done it 40,000 years ago, and so they will do a lot of it with it. And it's because it's a new science yet. And the owner, he is buying anything. He does not say no, I cannot buy. He is really trying to help in any direction that's going to be useful. So it's going to be very good.
Higher education, research and innovation is absolutely essential for the progress of Egypt, and guaranteeing excellence in what's being done is the name of the game. And what I have seen is that there is massive progress in the BUE towards achieving these objectives, particularly with the collaboration with the South Bank, London University, which is really essential because collaboration and excellence in research and higher education, as I said before, is essential for Egypt. And so I'm very happy.